All right, this is M. Driving home right now, coming from a date, a little tired, but I wanted to shoot this quick coaching video for you, talking about why I want you to stop pedestalizing women, especially beautiful women. Just stop pedestalizing them, guys. It's insane. There are so many guys out there. I would say over 95% of guys out there are completely beta. Whenever I read like the comments section of some girl's Instagram or some girl's Facebook where she posts a selfie of herself, and I see all these like beta orbiters dropping these comments like, oh my gosh, you're a goddess, or you're so beautiful. Oh, I would cut off my right arm just to be with you. Oh, where can I send you gifts? These guys who pedestalize women, it's just so, it's like really sickening at this point, you know, just because I've been teaching this stuff for so long. But whenever I'm taking out new students, the biggest sticking point that I see with these guys is they're very intimidated. And the hotter the girl is, the more intimidated they are, the more insecure they feel, okay? And rightfully so. It's because when you don't interact with beautiful women enough, or just women period, right? You tend to get intimidated by them. And the more attractive, the more intimidated you are by them. And one of the biggest hurdles for newbie students that I get is really getting over their fear of approaching and interacting with women, right? That's their biggest fear. And you have to realize when it comes to these girls, especially the very, very hot ones, you have to realize that they are no different than you and I. The only difference between them and us is the fact that they won the gene pool lottery. Okay, she won the gene pool lottery by no doing of her own. That was, you know, if you want to thank anybody, thank her parents. Okay, pedestalize her parents for hooking up. Don't pedestalize her. She has nothing to do with her looks, you know, outside of eating healthy and working out, assuming she's fit, right? But stop pedestalizing these women. Society does enough of that. Okay, feminism does enough of that. All the beta orbiters out there do enough of that. Don't add to the problem. Okay, Western women are hands down the most entitled, self-absorbed, and narcissistic creatures on the planet right now. And I'm not saying anything new. I mean, just look around you. Okay, you don't need to look far for evidence. Okay, so I'm not saying anything groundbreaking here, because I know a lot of people will come on my channel and start hating on me. A lot of these beta orbiters and these cucks and these SJWs. Like, no, man, we're all just people just trying to get along, you know? Why do you have to be divisive like that? It's like, no, dude, I'm not being divisive. I'm the one who's out there in field approaching all of these women on a weekly basis. Okay, I go out 4 to 5 times per week. I deal with these women all the time. I'm the one who's in field. I'm the one dating these women, okay? Most of these guys who drop these hater comments, by the way, are generally like incels, and they're generally like fat guys living in their parents' basement or renting out some shitty studio, you know, hiding behind their computer and fake YouTube profile, dropping these hater comments. And it's like, dude, if you have something to say, you know, post up your real profile photo. You know, link to your real social media account. Stop being a pussy. Right? If you got something to say it from your real account. Don't hide behind your computer and fake YouTube profile. I mean, obviously, I put myself out there. I vet myself. I put myself at risk by saying these things. I mean, if I ever want to get a job, I probably can't get one because of the things I'm saying, right? I'm not a pussy when it comes to that. So if you're going to drop hater comments, don't be a pussy about it. So anyway, like I was saying, these women are no different than you and I. They all bleed red just like you and I. Okay, even the hot ones, believe it or not, even these gorgeous girls, these 8s, 9s, and 10s, they all go home, they all brush their teeth, they all pee, they all poop, they all have their flaws. Okay, she might have bad breath, she might have bad hygiene, I don't know, maybe her feet smell or something like that. You know, all these girls, all of them have their own particular flaws. Okay, we all do as humans. Okay, I'm not just picking on them. The point I'm making is, you want to stop pedestalizing these women in your head. Just stop pedestalizing women, period. The matriarchy does enough of that. Okay, we're living in a gynocentric society right now. We don't need more men pedestalizing women. I know recently, not that long ago, we just had International Women's Day. And I have a number of women that I know personally, you know, whether through friends, social circles, or women I've dated who've said, hey, what are you going to do to celebrate International Women's Day? And I'm like, nothing. They're like, really? You're not going to celebrate? I'm like, celebrate what? What do you want to celebrate? You know, I'm like, you guys are praised enough. Are you kidding me? You know, and one of them brought up, well, you know, on International Man's Day, I would celebrate you. And I'm like, why? I don't want to be celebrated with the collective. Okay, I want to be celebrated for my own individual unique talents whenever I do something that's worthy of a celebration. You know, but me just existing because I happen to have a penis, I don't expect to be celebrated just because somebody decided that, you know, like November 20th is International Man's Day or whatever day it's supposed to be on. Is it like the 19th or 20th is Men's Day? Something like that. I don't want to be part of that collective. Okay, and the people who create these things, by the way, the International Women's Day and the International Man's Day, you know, when you're more red pill, you'll see this for what it is. It's just more of the globalists trying to create more of a collective society where people start thinking collectively rather than individualistically, right? They want people thinking more collectively rather than individually. Okay, it's just part of that globalist agenda. So I don't celebrate either. You know, I don't celebrate either. A good friend of mine, business owner, very successful business owner. He does real estate. He's a Hispanic guy, right? So he gets a lot of Hispanic magazines and Hispanic news outlets wanting to interview him and celebrate him for being a successful Hispanic. And he doesn't want anything to do with that shit. I mean, he's proud of his heritage, but he doesn't want to group in his accomplishments with him being Hispanic. It's like, dude, I didn't get to where I am making 7 figures per year by being Hispanic. I got there because I kick ass, because I crush it out there, because I'm a badass mofo. It has nothing to do with my skin color. And my dad always taught me to be proud of my accomplishments and not necessarily my ethnicity or anything I can't control. You know, you being a certain ethnicity or you being born a certain gender is out of your control. You had nothing to do with that. So I don't believe that should draw any type of celebration. So anyway, going back to the point, you know, you just want to stop pedestalizing these women, because the more you stop pedestalizing women, the better you will get at interacting with women, approaching women. The less fear you'll have, the less intimidation you'll have. You know, especially when you're interacting with a lot of beautiful women. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. These are the type of girls that I go after personally. I teach my students to go after. These women can be very intimidating. They can make you feel insecure, right? Especially if you're not nearly as attractive as they are, right? They can make you feel a little insecure, and you can kind of feel yourself losing self-esteem just standing in front of this girl. But you just have to understand, women, whether they're hot or not, just women, period, it is not in their nature to respect weak men, okay? Basically, men who kowtow to them, men who pedestalize them, men who constantly praise them, okay? Like a lot of these beta orbiters you see out there, a lot of these beta cucks, a lot of these guys who are blue pill, you know, who don't know any better, who are out there like at the women's marches wearing their pussy hats, marching alongside with women. These cucks, they don't know any better, right? These guys are very blue pill. These are the type of guys that pedestalize women, you know, and a lot of their reason too is they're trying to get laid by these women. Truthfully, none of them ever actually accomplish that. You know, they just end up marching alongside them. They get used as tools by women, because women are always happy to manipulate you and use you for their own gain, right? These guys get used for that. And they never actually get what they want out of the girl, which is sex, which is love, which is a relationship, right? Because at the end of the day, women do not respect weak men, okay? They just don't. They don't respect men who don't have a backbone. They don't respect men who are so weak that they kowtow to their every desire, to their every need, and are almost like yes men. Like everything the girl says, the guy agrees with. Like, yes, yes, you're right. Yes, yes, yeah, I agree with that too. Or, you know, yes, yes, I like that movie too. Or, yes, those people are all evil. Women don't respect weak men. They despise weak men. Just understand this. Women are wired to resent you, despise you, even hate you for abandoning your masculinity and instead taking on the role of the feminine. Okay, and whenever you kowtow to a chick, whenever you pedestalize that chick, that's exactly what you're doing. And this is why the girl has no problem friend zoning you when you do that. She has no problem flaking on you when you do that. She has no problem leading you on, using you as her emotional tampon, and not feeling an ounce of remorse about it. For her, she's like, you deserve it because you're a little beta bitch. You have no spine. You're acting just like a chick. You know, there's nothing about you that is dominant or masculine or is demonstrating to her that she can trust you to be a man, simply put. Okay, whenever you put the woman above you, all you're telling her is that your value is so low and you are sucking so much at life that she's grossed out by you. She's like, ugh, you know, I don't want anything to do with this guy. He's gross. You know, it's almost like when you're dealing with a girl who acts really masculine. You know, it's a turnoff, right? Especially if you're a masculine dude. You don't want a girl who's going to be masculine too. Okay, no guy wants that. Okay, no guy wants that. The only guys that I see that are into that shit are guys who are just so feminine that they need the woman to take on the role of the masculine. Okay, because there has to be that yin and yang in each relationship. Okay, there has to be those polar opposites. Somebody has to be demonstrating that masculine polarity while the other person needs to be demonstrating that feminine polarity. You know, that feminine energy, I should say. Right? So if the guy is not acting masculine and he's just too feminine to do it, the girl is going to start acting masculine. As much as a lot of these modern day women, so to speak, say that that's the kind of guy they want, you know, they kind of want like a better beta male that they can control. These girls, at the end of the day, are miserable. They're miserable with these guys. They resent these guys. They go home to these guys. They hate them. They hate themselves for being with such a guy. When all they want is a guy who is going to stand up to them, tell them when they're wrong, call them out when they're, you know, call them out on their shit, and be strong enough to stand up to her. At the end of the day, that's what she wants. She doesn't want some beta bitch who's going to be basking in his feminine emotions, expecting her to take on the role of the man, expecting her to take on the role of being masculine. Okay, no girl wants that. No girl in her right mind wants that. Even feminists who say that's exactly what they want in a relationship. They want to be like the man and they want the guy to be like a little beta bitch. I've seen those relationships play out, guys. And let me tell you, even these feminists, they will never admit it. They are miserable in those relationships. They are absolutely miserable. Okay, because they're caught between a rock and a hard place, because what they really want is the alpha lover, the alpha male, who's going to stand up to their bullshit and call them out every time they step out of line and punish her bad behavior. They can't be honest enough with themselves to admit that that's what they want, because it doesn't go along with their social narrative. You know, it doesn't go along with the feminist narrative. So they choose this little beta bitch that they can control, right? This little beta male cuck who's like a yes man, like, yes, dear, you're completely right. We'll go to the Women's March this Saturday. I'll wear that pussy hat right next to you, dear. We'll march for women's rights that they already have. It's okay, I'll do it because that's what you consider a strong man. I will do it, honey. You know, and the guy's just a complete little cuck. I mean, of course, the girl, you know, as a female, she's going to continue to use that guy as long as he's willing to continue to be used. Even if she's married to him, she's going to continue to use him and manipulate him, you know, for her own benefit. But she's never going to have any respect for that guy. Okay, she's never going to have any respect for that guy. One thing I teach my students is when it comes to relationships, you want your girl to respect you just a little bit more than she loves you. Okay, and I know it's a little bit of anti-relationship advice, but from my end, from what I've seen with relationships playing out, the ones that last the longest, where the girl doesn't stray, she doesn't cheat, she stays in love with her man, she can't wait to have sex with him every single day, all she can think about it is her man, is when she respects him a little bit more than she loves him. Okay, those are the best relationships. But the relationships where the girl has no respect for you and she just kind of loves you almost like a brother, those are the relationships that are sexless. Those are the relationships that are depressing for both parties, both the man and the woman. Okay, because the guy is so busy pedestalizing her and being a little bitch that he's refusing to take on his role as the man, okay, as the male in that relationship. He's refusing to take on his role, you know, and in response to that, the female, you know, especially if she's a feminist, she's never going to admit, the female is miserable. All she dreams about is having a guy who will actually stand up to her, that alpha lover. So that's all I want to say for this coaching video tonight, is to stop pedestalizing women, stop putting them on this higher pedestal, stop putting them above you, stop putting their needs above yours, stop making them into these mythical, flawless creatures that they certainly are not, and just understand that they are people just like you and I, okay? They are no different. They deserve no more or no less respect than any other person out there. And I guarantee you will be a lot more successful with women, both in just social situations as well as dating relationships, when you stop pedestalizing them. The point at where I became very successful at attracting women into my life is when I stopped pedestalizing them, especially beautiful women. Just because beautiful women are pedestalized so much, not only by society, but by other guys who are trying to get in their pants, guys who are trying to get laid, you know, guys who are trying to get sex out of them. Once I stopped pedestalizing these girls, it immediately removed my agenda, right? Because girls can smell agenda a mile away. It immediately helped me to feel more entitled to the hotter women, and I was able to feel more congruent around them, okay? And those really are the top three key skills that I teach guys for how to approach and close a beautiful woman successfully, is to, number one, be free from outcome, no agenda. Number two, be entitled to the girl. And number three, be congruent around the girl, okay? All of these things magically come together once you stop pedestalizing the woman, okay? Once you stop putting her on this higher plank than you are, once you stop putting her needs ahead of yours, once you stop being a yes man to her, okay? Once you grow a pair of balls and you're able to stand in front of her and hold her accountable for her actions, when you're able to stand in front of her and tell her when she's wrong, when you're able to stand in front of her and not reward her bad behavior if she starts acting up in front of you, okay? All this comes from no longer pedestalizing women. And like I said, man, society does enough of it. Feminism does enough of it. All the beta male orbiters out there, the thousands of them out there, do enough of it every single day. All these guys do is pedestalize women all day. All the social narrative is set up to do is pedestalize women all day. Okay, so they get enough of it. Don't add to the problem. Be different. As I always teach you guys, the way to get to a girl, like especially a hot girl, is to do what other guys are not doing. And let me tell you, 99.9% of the guys that most hot women come across are doing just that. They're pedestalizing them. Where if you just don't do that and you remove that from your game, you will see your success with women in the opposite sex skyrocket. And you'll be able to get a lot of girls that you would consider, and many of your friends would consider, out of your league. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up here. That's all I have to say for tonight's coaching video. As always, this is M. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell up top so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a lot when you guys subscribe, so do that. Subscribe to my channel. And for you guys who actually want to support my work and support my content, the best way to do that is to sign up for my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching you guys how to approach and close the hottest women on the planet out there. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. Okay, this is what I teach you in 7 Months to Mastery. So if you want to support my work, getting signed up for 7 Months to Mastery is a great way to do it. The first month is only $1. Okay, so it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And all you have to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.